Hey YouTube, this is SensaSean reporting in for another video. Today I want to talk about my good friend Walker Embry, or as he's known on Instagram as MKT1960s, or as he's known by his layout, the Big Turnin' Southern. Now, he has weathered up for me 5 different freight cars, one of them being in the N scale, this little N scale beer can tanker for a series that I'm going to do in N scale. I'm going to do a beer train out of beer can tankers. And he decided to weather up, paint this car started out as in life as an undecorated Atlas N scale car. One of these. And now it's been turned into a Pabst Blue Ribbon tank car. And he did a fine job on this tank car. As you can see, every bit of it is hand painted. There are no decals on this car whatsoever, including on the other side. No decals. It's all hand painted. Walker, I'm just going to say this right now. This is probably some of the best work I've seen in N scale. And I know he primarily does N scale too. So, I mean, N scale is just cool. Plus the fact that he weathered it. It was a nice white before. But as you can see, it's been weathered up nicely. I believe he used powders and airbrush to make that car possible. So yeah, that's a nice car, and he's fair on his price for all of his work, and definitely check him out when you guys get the chance. The next car on the list, obviously, is we're gonna go ahead and just jump to the back row here. Is the Big Blue XCSX, the Arkansas and Kansas, I want to say AOK. It's an AOK car, but it's Big Blue, and it's an XCSX car. Anyway, he did a nice job weathering this car, especially. I like the roof a lot. It's really cool. This car was a prime for grime car, so it was supposed to be weathered up, you know, as disgusting, as gross. He also did the wheels as well as the trucks on everything, as well as the couplers, which is also great. The other side of this car, he also did a little addition here, CHP. And the other side of the car is just plain with weathering. So you can run it either way as just, you know, a weathered car, or change it up and have some hand-painted graffiti on one side. Excellent car, bro. Excellent car. They roll well. Everything's great. Moving on to the Ibt Box Car. This is actually, come back to the CSX real quick. This is a Athearn RTR car. So it started life out as plain as possible, and now looks really cool. It's based, I think it's not quite as based off of real life photos, but it's pretty close. So this next one is IBT, which is International Bridge and Terminal, I believe. And this one started out life as a Walters Proto boxcar with just green, with nothing else on it. And I gotta say, he did a really excellent job on this one as well. The roof is nice and gross. The green looks really good, especially for being a bit faded. The trucks are nicely weathered. The wheels are nicely weathered. Everything's really nicely weathered on this car. And then this car has high levels of detail. I mean, just absolute craziness. There we go. So yeah, Walker, you did an excellent job on this car, and I love it. And each side is different, for weathering at least. You gotta kind of slam it in. Kind of gotta slam it home a little bit to get it to couple up, but that's no problem really. So this other side, let me get rid of my autofocus there. Other side's pretty much the same story. You know, it's just weathered nice. It's weathered up the way it should be, based off of prototype photos that he had found on the internet. This car is probably one of the harder cars to do because it's green, and because there aren't very many Ibt box cars left around there in existence. But anyway, Walker, you did a great job on this car as well. So now we're going to move to probably my two favorite cars. Let's start off with the Illinois Terminal car, the ITC. This car is awesome. This car is a Athearn RTR, and he said this was probably one of the harder ones to do because it was two different colors. Actually, it's almost three different colors. There's green, yellow, and red on this car. And apparently when you have a multicolored car like this one, it's really hard to get the weathering right because either the red turns more brown and the yellow turns more orange and the green just gets darker. So it's kind of hard to tell where the weathering is on the car. Not where it is, but it's harder to weather because you have to get it just right. Otherwise, it just looks off in some way. Anyway, he made this car. The way he weathered this car is he made it look like it was an '83 from '83 plus 20 years added onto it. So he made it look like it would be about somewhere around 2000-ish or so, like 2003 maybe. So it's not a bad weathering job. I told him what years I was planning on. I think I told him what years I was planning on doing. But yeah, anyway, it's a good car. It's a great car, and I know he had a fun time weathering this car. The other side of this car looks really good too, and you can see where it's a bit darker in some places and a bit lighter in others. So now we're going to look at the other side here. And each wheel, which I like, is completely different in terms of where it's weathered and how dark it is. And it's really cool to see it going down the track, especially when you can see the wheels and you can see like, okay, this one is more orange than another one. So it's really kind of neat to see that. And this car, on top of this car, is just gross. It is disgusting. Now, you know, some people will be like, oh, the gross means it's bad. No. The more gross it looks like this, the better this car looks. It's just, this car only gets better every time I look at it. So, Walker, again, dude, I want to say, awesome freaking job, man. Really, awesome job. So then, getting out of Illinois, we're heading to Iowa with the Clem Co-op. And there's a bit of a backstory to this train. So the owner, or I guess the leasing owner of RREX, he and his wife went down to the shop to check the cars out that were being painted, and they didn't know what color they wanted to paint them. So they were currently sitting in their pink scheme, which was the pink is the primer for all these cars. I don't remember what company built them, but anyway, these are all primered and ready to be painted, and the company wanted to know what color they wanted them, so he asked his wife. He's like, all right, what color should these cars be painted? And she goes, what's that color? And they say, that's their primer, and he says, it's perfect. So since then, all the cars for lettered for RREX, or at least for Clem Co-op Iowa, or really the grain facilities in Iowa, all had pink hoppers. It was cool. They had a whole train of just pink covered hoppers pulled by C&W SD40s, SD50s, and it was a cool train because you had a whole string of just pink covered grain hoppers. It just looked cool because you don't see pink covered hoppers and you didn't see pink cars out there very often, and so it was just kind of neat to see different color schemes and being used. So I got one of these and sent this car in particular, which is an Intermountain car, to Walker. And I gotta say, this is probably my favorite car out of the 5 that he's done for me altogether. I mean, the way this car is detailed and the way it looks, wow. I mean, check out the top of this car. It is just awesome looking. It's gross. It's disgusting. It looks like it's been out in the sun forever. I mean, this car is great. And then he also got some patches here on the side of the car to really kind of bring this car to life. And as well on the other side, it's the same story. Nice big patches, you can definitely see it. Nicely weathered. I mean, there's even specks of weathering up here, and it just looks freaking cool. It's faded right. It's just, this car is probably my top car that Walker has done for me. This car is probably by far like the biggest wow factor of the 4 that I've sent him. I mean, don't get me wrong, the box car is cool. The box cars are cool. The Illinois Terminal car is cool, but the fact that he went like this on this Intermountain car, it's just wow. And then, so I have 5 more cars for him to weather when he wants to weather them up. So definitely be sure and check Walker Embry out. MKT1960s on Instagram, or Big Turn in Southern on Facebook. That's his page, his primary page. His prices are fair. He does the work really well, and he's a bit of a perfectionist, but don't tell him that. So, but yeah, he's awesome to work with. This is a review to him, a shout out to him. I shouted him out on my Instagram, McAdams Mitch as my Instagram. I wanted to change it to SensaSean, but they won't let me, so McAdams Mitch it is, and I'm okay with that, whatever. So, anyway, if you definitely want to check out some more of this little car, I haven't really done much to the progress of this train that I'm building yet. I just haven't had the time, and I've been kind of focused on my HO lately, so, and it's kind of on hold right now for a little bit, because coronavirus has everyone scared right now, so there's no train shows, and I can't really show off the car, so y'all got the video. So, Walker, if you see this, be sure and share the heck out of this video. I want everyone to know that you're backed by that. You know, I love your work. And if you guys have any chance to see his layout, to check out his freaking layout, the dude has a skill set that is beyond my understanding. I mean, he's N scale, right? So, you know, I mean, there's only so much you can do in N. But his layout is pretty much done. And he's only had it for, like, I think a year, maybe? Like, it started off as, I think, a 4x8 or a 4x5. I don't know how big it is. But then he had a bottom level. He built a helix. He built an upper level. And it was just a loop that was just there. Then he's adding on another section to it behind the main section for more switching opportunity. He's also a perfect. If you like Pabst Blue Ribbon, send him some PBR. He'll love you forever. That's kind of why he did this car, because he wanted to. I told him I was building a beer train, and that's why he painted that car up the way it did. So, anyway, I wanted to say, you know, dude, seriously, this dude has some serious mad skills, and I know he's been featured on the What's Neat This Week show a few times. I just want to say personally, from knowing him, mad respect. 100%. And dude, I hope you're ready for more work, because there are a lot of freight cars over here that need to be weathered up. And you can see the 5 pink hoppers that I still have over here that need to be weathered up. So when you're ready for more freight cars, let me know, and I'll send some more over. So yeah. So back to I'll do a whole layout update later. I won't make it in this video because that'll make this video stupid long. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know. Be sure, I can't stress this enough. Be sure and check out Walker Embry on Facebook, MKT1960s on Instagram, and Big Turn Southern on Facebook as well. The dude is a legend in the model road community. He's got mad respect by a lot of people. This dude is awesome. So give him a like. Get in contact with him if you want stuff weathered like this quality here. And I know this stuff looks fake my stuff looks fake compared to this stuff. I mean, this is quality stuff. I mean, I could weather sort of by hand. He did all these by airbrushing, which is the amazing part. So he's a madman. He's a madman behind a paintbrush, behind an airbrush. He's awesome. Walker, dude, just just 2 big thumbs up. You got my seal of approval, man. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Be sure and like, comment, subscribe, rate. Be sure, to get that bell on so you get post notifications when I post video. And until the next one, this is SensaSean signing off. See ya!